Welcome back to Force Education. This is Ed. Today I'm going to be talking again about SPAQ. Make sure to drop a like to this video to help the channel grow, subscribe, and leave notifications on. At any point of time, if you feel you're missing out in the technical analysis I'm going to be doing, you'll find an explanation to each of these technical indicators and what they mean in a playlist below in the description. Now, this is an update, so you'll find my previous TD in the description below that explains everything through the company's presentation, products, and competitors. I'm going to be going through technical analysis here, update on the news, as well as what I think about the stock and its updated rating for myself. Let's jump right into it. So moving on towards the 6 months, 1 week perspective, we get to see on the MACD, we get to see that it's gone again, once again, positive sign here. It is on a very bullish moving average, though the ADX supports in around an unstable trend around 58 and the stock is overbought. So moving averages looks bullish, MACD looks bullish, volume is a little bit alarming here, but still we didn't end up with the week, so that's fine. Volume percent R looks bearish, the ADX looks bearish, but momentum looks bullish, so it's kind of mixed on the 1 week perspective. If we move on towards the 1 day perspective, if you're holding this for a day or so, you get to see volume here is a little bit of an alarming thing. Usually when you get one high and one low, usually signals in perhaps a little bit of a drop coming in. Moving averages overall are extremely bullish on the 1 day perspective. The 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA, the stock price is above the 50 SMA and above the 200 SMA. Now on the ADX, it supports in basically a very strong trend that is green overall, although it's seen a little bit of a pullback today, but it hit its new high. Not overall new high, but the new high it has been since late July. Unbalanced volume has increased to almost an all-time high and then dipped just a little bit today. We get to see on the volume percent R, though it's sitting in neutral and momentum still strong. Now on the MACD, it looks like it might actually be a little bit on a flat, and that's usually when you might get a little bit of a danger sign. So to sum up, moving averages very bullish on the 1 day perspective, above the trading action zone. ADX is bullish, volume percent R is neutral, momentum is bullish, MACD possible bearish, and volume is possible bearish. Let's take a look into the 1 hour perspective. On the 1 hour perspective, the MACD looks like it's actually perhaps going towards a pullback. ADX shows in a bit more negative trend. Moving averages still look really bullish here. Volume percent R neutral, momentum bearish, and MACD bearish. So you start looking on the 1 hour perspective bearish, but we're more interested about the 1 week and the 1 day, which is on the 1 week it's mixed, 1 day it's bullish. Let's take a quick look in terms of moving average band. On the bottom you're expected at 1242, in the middle you're expecting 1384, and on the top you're expecting 1525. Currently it's trading way above there in the moving average band of 1824, so just basically on the moving average band it's expecting a little bit of a pullback, but you get to see that it defied that quite a bit. But the last time it did jump before, it did see that drop back, and you see every single time it did jump, kind of falls back into the moving average band. But of course the moving average band is also adjusting as the price moves on. Now towards Fibonacci retracement, supports and resistances that are significant to us. So we get to see here on Fibonacci retracement that we're seeing in a Fibonacci support at the 1594 mark, and then a Fibonacci resistance at the 17.7. Now if we were to look at trend lines before looking at Fibonacci retracement, support, it still has not broken this trend line that we have here. Although the bottom of the trend line you're looking at 1269. If we were to try to look into a different trend line here, one that recently kind of ran through, you're probably looking at the bottom of around 16.7. Now if we were to say that that trend line is formed into perhaps, let's say, a channel, what we get is something quite as follows right here, and you get to see that it's actually trading in more on the top of the channel, and so it's expected to probably follow back to the 1498, but nonetheless it's on a really nice uptrend, as you can get to see. Now if we were to look at significant supports and resistances here, you get to see that there is currently support at the 1672 mark, and then below that we're looking at 1668, and then below that we're looking at 1631, 1569, 1553, and you get the image 1537. Now significant resistances here, what we're looking at, 1691, 1702, 1739, 1780, and then 1815, and then above that 1851. Now let's try to look into the latest news and what's new about this company here. So this is their website. I've gone through everything in here for quite a bit videos, the last 2 videos I made on this one. Of course, this is the Fiskars website as well. It's a little bit different than the Spartan Energy because of their merger news, as we covered previously in terms of the acquisitions that they're making. There is a new PR that came out less than a week ago, 4 days ago, regarding basically parts of their mergers, but nothing significant here. It's just an update to the last one they've made, but nothing significant that basically is alarming. You're still getting basically the millions of dollars that is going to Fiskars developments and production. In terms of institutional values, it looks like Linden Advisors has bailed out with 100% of their positions out of this company. Nothing significant on any other sense in September, and almost no transactions that are reportable on the institutional buyers. Once again, Henrik Fisker, which has his Twitter account, basically keeps on providing us updates. So you get to see that they're also working on the off-road package. Now, there is a lot of promises for this company here, and I really hope that they actually follow through with it, such as sustainable materials and all that stuff in between, recycled materials to be used. Now, in concept, that this really works, but Fiskars had a previous kind of history of going bankrupt and flopping on promises. But hopefully this time, and with fingers crossed, is that it has a good future. Well, under the new management of Spartan Energy, you'd definitely think that, you know, they would really need to be on a tight leash, and I'm pretty sure Spartan Energy does consider that, and they have put that into their due diligence. Now moving on to how I play the stock. Now, if you remember, and I would like to play it on a 1-week perspective rather than a 1-day perspective, it looks really bullish, but the ADX gives me a little bit of a hint. It says, well, this trend has been up for quite a bit. There is a possibility of it dropping down. 40% R is overbought, so you expect a pullback, and that is going to be expected. So what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to do medium term, and I'm going to do long term. On the long term, you know, it looks like it's actually on a really nice uptrend. On the medium term, which is probably around the 1 week or so, you get to see that, or sorry, around like on the 1 week perspective, so probably in the next month or so, you get to see that there is a very high chance of a pullback. And this is supported by the channel that I just drew not long ago, that really shows you that it's still on an uptrend, but it is sitting in on an upper channel, so you're expected for it to drop a little bit more, at least to perhaps the 15-ish marks. Now, that is not a significant drop, but significant enough for me to consider that is a loss. So on the medium term, I would probably give this one a speculative hold, which means basically if you would like to hold this one a little bit longer, you can day trade it and whatnot, and you can see spikes in between, but the expectation is that it might actually hold in an uptrend, but it might see a little bit of pullback. On the long term, previously I did give it a buy, but right now, just because of one thing that is put on the news right now a lot, is the speculation of the EV bubble. They're calling it a bubble and all that stuff, so that might scare a little bit of people into buying and investing into companies like SPAQ, especially after all the Nebula dilemma thing. I'm not going to refer to that at all, but this one would go from a buy to me now to a hold, just at this level, because you might have a better entry price when it sees that slight pullback. But in the longer term, this one I definitely see, if it does still hold and goes on with Spartan Energy, a really bright future. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure you mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. You have a wonderful day.